So today we'll do the meditation on the breath. And while other traditions have patterns of breathing and controlled breathing to quickly generate a sense of calm, the mindfulness of the breath that the Buddha taught is to start with a slightly relaxed, slightly longer breath, deliberately longer, and then to slowly let go of our control of the breath, to allow it to be whatever it wants to be. And this style of meditation on the breath doesn't lend itself to finding it easy, and it's quite easy for the mind to wander, and because of that it trains us to remember to come back to the breath. And it's that practice of remembering that or realising that our mind has wandered and bringing it back, which is the practice. So we shouldn't feel disheartened when our mind wanders. This meditation is designed for the mind to wander and for us to bring it back, and it trains us to bringing ourselves back to the breath, so we can stop thinking about good and bad meditations. We can just focus on the process of returning to the breath. So we'll start with a couple of minutes of slightly longer breaths and focusing on the calming nature of the out-breath. I'm slowing it down initially quite a lot, maybe for 5 or 6 heartbeats on the out-breath, maybe even 7 or 8 if we really need to work to calm the mind. And then we'll slowly let go. So we'll just start with a slightly longer breath. we feel that our mind is stable and we're enjoying that calm breath. And we're really finding it quite easy to delve into those sensations of the breath wherever we're sensing them. We can follow the breath to the belly, we can keep on the tip of our nose. We can concentrate on that sensation inside the passages of the nose. We can start to relax our control over the breath. So when the mind inevitably wanders, you return to the breath. You focus on the enjoyable physical sensation of the breath. It reminds us that the present moment is enough, is enjoyable. We don't need to listen to that voice in our head that's narrating plays or planning events or working as a detective to uncover the meaning of the past, or any of these mind games that we realise we're all addicted to. We realise we can put that aside and focus on the enjoyment of the present moment, that pleasurable quality of breathing and being alive. mind does wander in a predictable way, if it's prone to agitation, we focus on the calming nature of the out-breath. If our mind is falling into daydreaming and enjoyable thoughts or things like that, then we focus on the energizing, focusing quality of the in-breath. We don't change the breath unless we really are struggling with either extremes of agitation or daydreaming. It's just changing our mental focus just to remain balanced and in the middle, so we're alert but relaxed. If we go too far in one direction, we move back to the middle. That's why there's no right or wrong way to meditate. There's no one method, but it's knowing what we need to do in that moment to respond. And if we're struggling, it's totally fine just to go back to the long, deep out breaths. We use enjoyment and interest as our guide. If we're finding it boring, we'll breathe in a way that's slightly more interesting. If we're agitated, we make sure we're calm. If we're focusing on the enjoyable aspect, we're naturally more inclined to investigate in that direction. And it's that investigation, investigating the enjoyable nature of the breath, that keeps us coming back. When we view our time spent in meditation as a treat rather than a chore, we're more likely to do it. The more time we spend enjoying sitting down quietly, the less time we spend running around pursuing happiness in a way that won't last. perfectly normal for feelings of agitation or slothfulness to arise, rather than feeding into that and thinking, I am agitated, I am sleepy. You realise that often in meditation it's not really agitation, it's not really sleepiness, it's just the mind trying to get away from the present moment. If we were to sit for an hour, it's quite possible that we'd feel agitated 3 times and tired 3 times as well. And you might spend 5 or 10 minutes feeling like we need to curl in a ball and sleep for an hour, and after 5 minutes we feel like we need to run around the park and burn some energy, and then when that doesn't work and you keep sitting, the mind goes back to telling you you need to sleep. And there's a lot of wisdom in sitting through these sensations, realising if I was so tired, why am I climbing the walls now? Or vice versa. And then we see a lot of these sensations are not only temporary, but the origin isn't us. The origin is in the mind. We are no more our thoughts than the things that we see. If we open our eyes and see a tree, we don't think that that tree is me. But if we focus on our thoughts, it's easy to think that those thoughts are us rather than the mind just thinking, because it likes to think, because that's what minds do. In the same way that when you open your eyes you can't help but see. So sitting through these sensations, and even if when the idea of focusing on the breath is a million miles away because we're struggling so much to stay awake, that's where some real wisdom can arise. We can see the impermanence of these sensations. So even if we're not meditating, just sitting still teaches us impermanence.